So here's a question that I often get from my younger students, and that is, why do I have to practice? Well, we've all heard the old adage, practice makes perfect, although I'm not sure that that's really accurate because perfection is rarely achieved, but practice gets us closer to perfect, which is great. We've also heard, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. But the thing is that practice is important for a couple of reasons. Number one, practice is where you develop your technique, okay? If you were to learn a really difficult song in 5 minutes before you had to sing it on stage, and then you sang it on stage and maybe things didn't go very well, it was because you didn't have enough time for that music to settle in your voice and in your body. Practicing gives your body an opportunity to actually learn what it has to do in order to achieve what it is that you have to do when you're singing a particular piece. Okay? It's where you find that technique. It's where you develop that muscle memory. And that brings me to the second reason of why you need to practice, is because it's through practice that you develop stamina. All right? So if you are singing in a leading operatic role, say, and say that for that operatic role, you have to be on stage singing almost consistently for 40 minutes. That's a long time to be singing. And if your voice is not actually ready to have that kind of stamina because you actually haven't developed the stamina in your practice, then you're going to find that you're going to get to the end of that role or that act or that scene, whatever it is, and realize, oh my God, I don't have any voice left. So the thing is that you practice to get that muscle memory in you, get your body and your breath in shape to be able to handle singing longer and singing higher and singing more difficult repertoire. So practice is essential. And here's the other thing. You gotta practice every day, okay? Now that doesn't mean you have to be in a practice room for 3 hours every day. That doesn't mean that at all. But you do have to practice mindfully every single day, for even if it's for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, just to get your voice to develop that stamina, to instill the technique, to get that muscle memory to start to play for you. So, if you don't practice already, you gotta start practicing now. Make it a goal of yours that maybe next week you're going to practice for 10 minutes every day, all next week, and see how you feel at the end of the week. If you feel good, which I think you will, then increase it to the next week for 15 minutes and see what happens. Practice almost makes perfect.